we're joined by organiser Tunde Olaoye. Is that correct?
Yeah, just about.
Just about, yeah, sorry. So, yeah, it's been a fascinating night. Interesting, covering DJ culture, drugs, music, new technology. Why is it important for you to put on an event like this?
For me, it was more about, first I was a big TED fan, so I used to watch a lot of TED events, and I used to really be involved with it. And I thought to myself that one thing I always notice about just culture today and age, especially our generation, is we consume a lot, and we consume, and then we think, oh, what should we do next? Consume more. And I thought, let's actually put some out. Instead of just watching TED videos, even though they're good videos and not consuming garbage, it's still something I wanted to do. And I did engineering at university, a lot of music events, and I felt for me, DJ culture is the intersection where culture meets technology and art meets kind of new science. So that's why I wanted to explore that first. So I thought that's the perfect example to kind of use an idea to spread and help people see this is more than just a guy standing by decks taking drugs and partying. This is a movement that can help us usher us to maybe the renaissance or something. So
It's show what's going on behind the scene, the technology, the business side, the DJ side, and the drug issues as well.
Yeah, and I think it's just to look a bit deeper into it, because there's all these different little angles that come off it, and they're massive questions that are asked about society, because people are asking what happens now with all this new technology. Does that change the way we produce ours? Does that change the way we live our life? What do we do about drug prohibition? All these things are they're questions that the DJ and DJ culture has been answering for a long time. So I just kind of see loads of analogies you can pull out and loads of interesting stories, because at the end of the day, it's about dancing, it's about connecting with something higher, and that's where it all mixes.
And what do you think has happened to the scene? I mean, it started off from relative obscurity 25 years ago. In the mid-90s, you had the superstar DJs.
Yeah.
And it's kind of somewhere in between now.
It's promising and scary at the same time. So one hand, you've got David Guetta and people like that who are taking dance music into R&B, synth pop, and it's ooh, that's not good. But then you have a lot of UK artists, UK bass scene coming out now, which produces some great music. Obviously when we say Jamie XX, James Blake, Chorus and people, and Ben UFO, there's all these names that UK based artists producing really interesting music. So I think we're teetering on the edge of the kitsch, shall we say, that we can go one of two directions, and if we don't have more conversations like this, we're going to go more to the commercial side, I think.
So the underground is still relatively healthy.
It is relatively healthy. I think it is. I think there's more space. One thing I wanted to do, which I didn't get a chance to in this event, was I wanted to try and get some government ministers here and say, look, DJ music, electronic music could be so powerful in schools. How much you can do with a music room of instruments is fairly limited, because you don't have the funds to invest in that. But imagine you get 2 decks in a classroom, or get 4 decks. It's very relatively cheap. Then you give kids all this different type of music, so they go through all the different genres, and they find what they like. Because then he likes, what's that saxophone sound? Actually, can I get a saxophone now because I've heard it? So there's so many ways it could be so more powerful if we stop looking at it as such a remedial kind of activity. I think we look at it a bit deeper like we look at it, then we could actually learn some great stuff. I think that's a big issue, that it's not just about the DJ, and it's something we didn't get to cover in this event, but it is also about the space and people and the audience, and people need to think more about that, curating that space and making that into something amazing. There's a club, the Berghain in Germany, which is obviously the mecca of all clubs, and we don't have one in London. We were talking about that earlier, so we do need to think about the spaces, and we do need to think about the audiences and really kind of engage in them to want to have a great time and experience, and not just go there and get smashed out their faces.
And you a Dirty Warehouse man or a glitzy club vet man?
I'm definitely a Dirty Warehouse man. I've thrown a couple of squat raves in my time, so yeah, I'm always about the Dirty Warehouse. Every now and again a little moe, but I'll keep it grimy. Yeah.
And any plans for another event like this, or is it too early to say?
Yeah, hopefully we'll do another TedxBrickLane. There will be another one in the future in the year. I'm going to take a well-deserved rest, take a couple of days off. But yeah, and there's a lot of TEDx events going on across the world. So one thing I would say to people listening to this or watching this, just look out for your local TEDx events. Check out TED.com. It's really powerful, and they're helping spread loads of different ideas. This is one small segment in a massive pie of ideas that are going on. So I'd say that's what you look out for.